If you clicked on this video, it's probably because despite you doing all of the things that you thought would give you the success you want with women, you're still watching this video and you're probably still either single or you're not dating the exact kind of women you want. And I want to make this video as raw and honest as possible, which is why I have a few notes with me. And I was talking to a friend of mine who's making $200K a month. He owns a pretty decent marketing agency. He's making good money. He's extremely disciplined, very smart, what you would say is a high value guy. He is a high value guy. But at the same time, he has massive fears. And so it's almost like guys who made money or are further in life in some aspects have it worse than losers. Because the loser doesn't know what he doesn't know. He's just being himself when talking to people. He's being himself when talking to women. And so I was talking to this friend, and he told me about systemizing his dating life, and he's trying a bunch of stuff like he's having VAs. So if you don't know what a VA is, it's somebody you pay usually in a third world country like the Philippines or India to do tasks for you and just pay them. He would pay VAs to chat with girls for him on dating apps, on Instagram, and basically he wants to automate this entire process. And so that already tells you a lot about the person. It's somebody who's very logical, very analytical, somebody who likes to systemize stuff. But the inherent problem, the deep problem, nobody talks about it. I think I'm the only guy who tells him that, and which is why he respects me. He doesn't approach women. Like, the only time he actually approached girls in public, I'm not saying in a club when he was drinking, was with me. When I was with him in his city, that was in Bangkok, Thailand. When I literally held him by the hand, I was like, man, let's go talk to these girls. And so this is number one. Like, you can try to do everything you want. You can have the best dating apps. You can go to clubs. You can rely on your social circle. You can automate your dating process. If you don't have the ability to talk to any girl you want in any type of situation, like no matter the country, no matter the city, you just land and you're able to talk to anyone, you will eternally be in that mental prison. You will eternally suffer from your inability to talk to people, especially hot women. I can tell you that for a fact. If there's one skill that will 10x your entire life, it is the ability to talk to strangers. And until you have fixed that, no matter how much dating content like this video, how many podcasts on female psychology, or how many AI systems you try to automate for your dating life, none of these things will help you. I can guarantee you that. And the amount of guys I know who are smart, they're successful, they're disciplined, who will literally do anything but approach girls is crazy. And you know, they'll say stuff like, it's distracting me from my business, or I don't have the time for this right now. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? You have 168 hours a week, like all of us. You do a bunch of stuff that is not productive. You're also scrolling on Instagram. You're also chilling at times. You're watching that one episode on Netflix. But you don't have the time to say hi for 2 minutes to that girl in a coffee shop. You don't have time to approach that one girl you really like at a bus stop. You're being dishonest. You're just lying. You're straight up being a liar and being a bitch about it. So this is the first thing. You absolutely need to become excellent at the skill of approaching women. And when I say approaching women, I don't just mean saying hi to them and having a nice conversation, because this is another thing that guys will say. They'll say like, oh, she ghosted me. I don't know why. We had such a nice conversation. It was such a good conversation, right? It doesn't matter. It's like me creating a super polished, high editing, perfect video that it looks nice on the surface, but the depth is not there. It's just a shit video. Maybe this video is not the best, as in like it's an old sofa. The lighting is not the best because it's already late. I'm shirtless, but it doesn't matter. Like the stuff I'm saying just makes sense and it's speaking to you. So it doesn't matter how nice your conversation is, because if you're watching this, you probably consider yourself a social guy, right? You're not socially retarded. Like you can talk to people. It's just that you can't create that man to women dynamic, that sexual vibe with girls you really like. That's the issue. It's not that you can't talk to people. It's that you can't consistently and predictably create that man to women dynamic with the women you actually want. And with most guys I was with on the phone, or guys I helped, guys I coached, it was this exact thing. They could talk to people. They could talk to some girls even. But with the girls that they were really attracted to, they struggled like crazy. They just became a different person. You become weird. You start freezing. That's the issue. That's the fundamental issue. So, as I said, number one, you need to become really good at approaching people, like talking, like actually making the move. The second thing is you need to learn how to create that man to woman sexual dynamic. And unless you do that, you'll eternally have those friendly conversations that don't lead anywhere. And I had this one client who, he was that exact person. He was a very social guy. Like on the surface, you could think, oh, he's a social guy, he's a cool guy. He was a cool guy. But he wasn't cool with women. With women he really liked. He was just being really weird, really creepy, and just not himself. So once you can do these two things, the third thing you need to change, you need to implement, is you need to stop building your entire identity around what you have or what you do. And so if I had to draw what I call the pyramid of identity, the lowest level in which most men are stuck is the level of having. So it's basing who you are as a man around having certain things. Oh, if I have a nice Lambo, if I get a fresh haircut, if I buy her this bag, then I'm attractive. It is a lowest level of consciousness, because you're basically delegating you're pulling away the responsibility of your entire being on having things. How whack is that? You as a man, your entire essence is based around you having things? Like you're only confident when you show that you have material wealth? And this is a very common thing with guys in general, guys I've helped, guys I've coached. The more money you make, the more you attach your identity with money. And so one of my first clients, this was 5 years ago, 6 years ago, he basically owns one of the biggest sports betting agencies in Europe. And when he was 19, he was already making 60, 65K a month consistently. That is crazy. That is a lot of money when you're 19. And the issue was that he never developed himself into the kind of man that was worthy of talking to women. His whole identity was, I make a lot of money. And so he only felt confident when he was making money. And it took time for me to deconstruct all of these beliefs inside of him, to tell him, hey man, until you fix that identity that you've attached with money, you're never ever gonna, first of all, have the success you want with girls, but you're never really gonna tap into your true self, like women apart. It's not even about the women. Like you're never ever gonna enjoy life. I can tell you that for a fact. And this is the unsexy stuff nobody wants to hear. And so that's the lowest level it's having. And the second level of identity is doing. And so what's really common with, sorry, my camera just froze. What's really common with a lot of guys who get into personal development or dating and socializing, talking to people, is they realize, okay, maybe it's not me having stuff that will create the dynamic in the conversation. Maybe it's what I do. And then they become the dancing monkey, or they become the alpha gym guy who needs to always do certain things. They basically become an entertainer, a dancing monkey. Oh, I have to make certain jokes. They're gesture maxing. It's a very common thing. Like, guys will only be able to interact with girls and have a sort of confidence if they make that one joke or they say that one thing. It's the second paradigm, basically. You still have to do things. Now, the highest level paradigm of identity is actually being. It's the ability to just be yourself. And I know how cheesy it sounds, because just be yourself, bro, is the worst and the best advice at the same time. Okay, so my camera just died, and we're going to use this one instead. Who cares? This is live TV. So if you tell a guy who has absolutely no idea about female psychology, dating, whatsoever, and you tell him to just be yourself, he's like, well, thanks, but like, what the fuck do I do? Like, so you're not in that paradigm. It's like this IQ Bell meme curve, right? When you have the guy who's totally low IQ, he's just being himself. The guy who fucks up his life, has no discipline, no intelligence, and he's just being himself, right? This was the guy, there's a guy you went to school with who was an absolute idiot, but he was being himself, and it worked. He was dating the hot girls. He was himself with women. He never felt nervous. He was just always fun. And then you have the guy in the middle, which is basically you right now watching this video, who thinks it's all about strategy. I need to implement certain things. I need to become someone else. So I need to do certain things. Whereas the guy who's actually high IQ and has a lot of success with women, he understands, hey, actually, it was about just being myself all along. But the way you come to that conclusion is by going through the trials and tribulations. It took me time to understand how to actually make this work, how to actually be myself. And so I don't want to make this video 10 hours long, but if I had to summarize this, number one, you need to become excellent at approaching women. You need to become excellent at the skill of going up to any stranger, spark their attention, create some curiosity, create some attraction, build a connection, and either take their contact or go on a date with them. It's that simple. You need to be able to do that. Number two, you need to become absolutely good at consistently having conversations with women that you like that are not friendly. You don't just want to be friends with them. That's not why you're watching this video. You have to become really good at having those sexual man-to-women discussions, relationships consistently. And if you want me to go in depth on how to do that, I can make an entire video on that, but that's going to take a little longer. And number three, you need to start dissociating your identity from what you have and what you do. You are more than your material belongings, your material wealth. And you are also way more than the things you do. You're not a dancing monkey. Right? Do you want to be the guy who just is? Or do you want to be the guy who is always funny? Oh, he's the fun guy. Or, yeah, he's the annoying guy who makes these jokes. That was me at some point. Because I basically went from this super shy and socially anxious guy who, like, for my entire teenage years in high school, I was this shy guy. I basically adopted this identity. Now I'm shy. People see me as this guy. So I'm not able to talk to girls. I was really weird around girls. And the way I changed that was by adopting certain personalities. I would become the bad boy, or I would become the fun guy, and I would become this extrovert. And yeah, that helped me tap into someone else. But the truth is that unless you let those masks go and you allow yourself to actually just be you'll always be this weird dancing monkey. You'll always be this guy who has to do things to get girls or to have success. And you don't want to do that. It's very draining. I can tell you that for a fact.